Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what it's like to do more deals with capital that's coming from different sources. All right. So this is literally the capital that fuels your deals. And it's what fueled our growth, Michelle and our growth from just 4 rentals to where we were able to get to 34 rentals, retire from our day job, and then continue building and flipping from there. So yes, this year we've closed over 30 this year using private funds. Last year it was over 7 million. I did a quick calculation. It was over $7 million worth of private loans that we did, and that was to buy property. And we may have flipped it. We may have kept it as a rental. It may be in Burr, uh, whatever we want to do with it. But we use private lenders to do that. Some of them were hotels. Some of them were quick transactional funds. So like we bought it one day and it was sold within 3 or 4 days. The beauty of private capital is that it's very, very flexible. And if you are starting from the beginning and start building that base, your private lenders will work with you. And if you need it for 3 days, they'll be happy. If you need it for 3 months, they'll be happy. All right. So let's dive into that. Who wants to do that? Who wants to jump into the private capital world? Yes. Yes. Get a couple yeses. All right. First, I have to give you my disclaimer that everything that I say here is just based on our experience. Okay. And as you know, as every other disclaimer says, results may vary, right? We fully understand that this is a hard business. I already said that. It's really difficult. And what you do today may be different from what I did today. And we're going to get the same or different results. It's not one to one. You are different than I am. So you have to put in the effort. The biggest thing that we see with people that come into this room or this community or into real estate in general is they just quit putting the effort in because it's not easy. It's not quick. All right. So if you have decided real estate is your vehicle for financial freedom, wealth, side gig, whatever that is, fantastic. But just know you have to stick with it. All right. So I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. You should consult those people in your life, whoever you use, when making big decisions. All right. So we're going to talk about specialized knowledge. There's so many different tracks, so many different roads on or in the real estate industry. You could go so many different ways. But tonight we're not going to talk about all of them. We're just going to talk about private lender and private lending aspect. All right. And we're going to talk about it from the borrower side. All right. We have some lenders in here that want to hear about it from the lender side, and they want to know how to make better returns on their funds. And they're going to be in here taking notes and trying to figure out how to vet a good borrower. Okay. So if you're in this room and you want to go find a lender, take these notes, follow these steps, and you will look like a better borrower. Does that make sense? I know it's a lot of like and R's and whatever, lender, borrower, whatever. Just if you're looking for funds, pay attention. All right. If you have funds to lend, pay attention. Okay. That makes sense. Everybody pay attention. All right. So let's start with our first flip. Some of y'all have been to some of our events and we've talked about this little baby here. Our first flip that was the first flip solely to flip to buy rentals. This was back in 2016 when Michelle and I had made the decision that we were going to buy houses, flip them, take the profits, and buy rentals. That was our plan to get, at that point, Michelle out of her day job, and so that she could be more flexible, we would have financial freedom, and we'd be very flexible with our jobs and our kids. So that was the first house, and it literally almost didn't happen. Why? Well, we're talking about lenders, so it was due to a lender. What we did is we bought it, found this one on, I think back then it was homesearch.com, which doesn't exist. That's now Zone or one of those. It might be auction.com bought that one. So I got it. I won it. Actually, I was second place bidder and they called me and said, "Hey, you're second place. You want it?" I was like, "Yes, I want it." Got it under contract. had lenders who, my private lender said, yes. She was like, yes, I'm in. I've got, I think it was 45,000 at the time, and I'll lend it to you to do the renovation. I'd gone to USAA. No, back up. We'd gone to Michelle's 401k first, and we knew how much we could borrow from there. I think it was about 45 from there as well. So we could borrow that, and that was going to be the purchase. And our private lender was going to be the rehab money. And they were great. They're all on board. We had a partner to help us. We had a coach to help us flip profitably. So like how to, what to do, what not to do. Do we demo these floors? Do we keep these floors? Do we demo this wall or keep this wall? Cabinets, all that. So we had somebody to help us do that. And then we get this private lender and we start going down the road. And then all of a sudden, about a week or two before closing, this private lender says, oh, wait, you were serious? You really wanted that money? I said, yes, I'm under contract. What do you mean? Are you serious? And she said, sorry, I spent it. I don't have it right now anymore. I just thought you were just saying like someday, maybe if, when. And that lender, do y'all think we talk to that lender anymore? Well, we do, because this was my mom. You've been here before. It was my mom. Yes, it was my mother, and I talk to her all the time, and I think she's got my kids, right? So we still love mom. But y'all think that taught me some lessons? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of lessons I will share with you today. But one of the big lessons is that was an obstacle. That big obstacle just got tossed right in our face. And what it taught me was that finding funding sources is going to be part of my job from here on out. It wasn't just finding houses. It's got to be finding funding. So after she told me, I don't have it anymore, and I'm already on the hook for this auction property, like they make you close on it, right? And so that's when I went to USAA and got a private loan, just like a unsecured loan. And back then we both had W-2 jobs. We were really good we looked great on paper. And so they did that. But after that, that's when we started talking, and our neighbor became a private lender, our coworkers, my mom later, again, she actually did come through. She actually is a lender. It's cool, in her IRA. So, but that big, caused us to really focus and realize that this isn't going to be easy. And so we opened our eyes and started looking around, and we got the deal done. We ended up flipping that house and buying a 5-unit right after that. So remember when I told y'all that like you're not normal? Are y'all okay not being normal? Good. Do you feel different from everybody else at your like dining table at Thanksgiving, the rest of your family, your friends? Good. Well, have y'all ever heard this kind of like, I feel like it's all just ingrained in us and it's hard to pull it out, but we've been taught to just spend your time getting money, right? Go to work, get a job, work overtime, earn extra money, right? Have fun with it. Once you earn that money, go spend it. You deserve that new car, right? Heck yeah, you got a job, you deserve it. Go spend it. You deserve that vacation. And then save as much as possible for the future. Have y'all heard that before? Save, save, save. And that's not necessarily bad. It's not bad advice to save if you think of it as an investor. But if you think of it as normal people, this saving thing is just putting it into a savings account the way we've been taught. Just put it aside. Don't look at it. Leave it there for later. That's the wrong way to think about it. As investors, we need to be thinking differently. And we need to be thinking about how to grow our money. Not go out there, spend our time getting it, but how do you grow money? How do you plant a seed that will then grow a business or grow passive cash flow? Buy a rental property that will send you money, right? How do you plant those seeds to grow your money? And then after that, how do you multiply it? So when you get it, it's not get it and spend it. It's get it and multiply it. And that's investing, right? And then, the beautiful part is making it work for you. And that's your private lenders. And these are the investors. These are how people that you are going to work with are thinking. And they want their money to work for them. And you should too. And so that's how we will connect with our private lenders, is helping them grow their funds, multiplying it, and letting it work for them. Does that make sense? Good. So that when we get into this, I want y'all to be thinking of it in this way. And if you're thinking of the old everybody else, start working on your mentality. Start working on being an investor mindset. Okay. All right. Let's dive into what is the role of business in money. Flip flop, back it up. Role of money in business. So we don't call it money when it comes into business, and that's a good trick for us to make sure that we don't spend it like it's our spending money. Okay. So it's capital. If we put that name capital on it, it's going to help you treat it like it's supposed to be treated, like it's your little puppy, it's your little baby. All right. And if we treat it like it's our baby, we're not going to waste it. We're not going to mess it up. Okay. Especially when it's someone else's. All right. So when we talk about capital is actually the term, it means an advantage. All right. So this is going to be your advantage in your business. So money itself is what we call capital in the business. So that's how I'm going to start talking about it. And hopefully you guys are like, call me out. If I call it money, y'all got to fix me. So no. We're not talking about money. We're talking about capital. We're talking about investment capital for our business and for our lenders. Okay. So some of y'all have seen this graph because I just love this graph. Right here, this is the largest big piece right here, which is 64.4%. This is a graph that shows where people got the funds to start their businesses from the SBA. So 65% of people get their funds from friends and family. Does that shock anybody? Is that surprising? Yeah, surprised me. Especially because it came from the SBA website. I'm like, well, everybody comes to you, don't they? Everybody goes to the SBA. No. Actually, business bank loans is only 17%. Why is that? Why do y'all think that is? A lot of hoops at the banks. A lot of hoops. And who's not good at jumping through hoops? Us. Y'all, me, everybody, entrepreneurs, self-employed individuals, people that are going out there taking risks. Yes, some of us look great on paper, and Michelle and I used to, when we were both W-2 employees. It was great. They're like, sure, you can have a business loan. Why not? But now when you go and you're self-employed, you don't look as pretty on paper, right? And banks just don't like it as much. I don't know why. W-2 is just as risky as self-employed, in my opinion. But whatever. I'm not the one making the decision. So it's exactly right. And so friends and family is going to be where we start as well when we talk about private capital. Okay. All right. So what is the role of capital in our business? And it's not just going to be a tool. I mean, it is going to be a tool, not just extra cash, right? We don't go get capital just to have. When you borrow the capital, it needs to be put to use because you're going to be paying interest on it. And it's not just for fun. It's not go, put in your back pocket. Okay. Smart investors, we use it to grow the business, grow faster. Okay. Grow bigger. You don't want to just, when you get the capital from your private lenders, they want to see your growth. They want to be a part of your growth. Okay. So using the money to grow is what they expect. All right. So do that. All right. So the biggest thing for us is that the capital helps us to grab those opportunities. It helps us seize the opportunities when they come. Okay. And if you use that and you have the private capital ready and willing to come to you, then when the opportunities come up, you can grab them. All right. So this is the biggest thing for this one here, is that we want to think about growing, not saving. Yes, you want to have your cash capital set aside for a rainy day, for operating expenses, right? But it's not saved, it's growing. It should be invested. It should be somewhere that's earning interest or being lent out or somewhere that it's growing. We're not just saving just to save. Okay. All right. And so for real estate, the biggest thing is grabbing those opportunities and speed and convenience. Okay. So we will jump into the strategies for using capital wisely. This is where just write this down, because when we go and get our private capital, which is what we're going to jump into next, is where to find this and how to use it and how to secure it. You want to have the strategies to use it. So make capital choices a long-term decision. You want to make great relationships, make good decisions. If you have an opportunity for a lender, be completely honest, and we'll get into this in a minute, but you're looking long term. It's not just get one deal from each lender, okay? Saving is good, but investing is better. Using capital to grow capital, okay? Using that wisely helps you grow bigger. The capital that you were able to find, if you think of it as water for your business, remember we talked about growing it. If you think of it as water for the business, it'll help you grow your business. And as you keep feeding it wisely, it'll keep growing wisely. Okay. And then growth comes faster, of course, with more investment. But the biggest thing for us and for you guys to remember, I forgot to bring the book, but some of our deal partners in here know this book, is The Profit First for Real Estate Investors. It's the same with your capital. You've got to be thinking profit first, which means if you're borrowing capital but doing deals that aren't profitable, like you're paying your lender too much, or you bought the deal bad and you're just buying it because you have capital available, you're not going to last long. That is not a long-term strategy. When you borrow them funds, when you work with lenders, you have a capital partner, a profit has to be built into the equation or you will not survive. Okay. So it's not just doing deals because you have capital. It's doing more good deals because you have capital. Does that make sense? I hope that's trying to get you guys to remember that just because we can get the capital doesn't mean we should. Okay. All right. So we are going to, just a couple more pieces on this. That's definitely a safety net. The capital in your business. So when you are saving your own capital and investing your own capital, you have that as a safety net. You have your own funds there invested somewhere so that you have opportunity, right? If the market was super slow the last, maybe 6 months, 4 to 6 months, it was really slow. If you're in this business and you're in a transaction business, having your own capital there as a safety net is super wise. It's a good idea. All right. So the biggest takeaway and why we use private capital, and probably the reason why y'all are here, right? I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but I want to make sure we have a good solid foundation on what capital is and what we're doing with it, is that it's faster and easier than banks. Does everyone agree with that? Yeah. It's like having a direct line to your source of growth. It's like having the water hose pipe right into your plant, your business plant. Okay. That is what private capital is for you. And it's the secret weapon that you could supercharge your deals, because when you have the private funds, when you have funds available, you have the confidence to go make great offers. Who in here has ever been afraid to make an offer because they didn't know where the money would come from? Yep. I talk to people every day, and later I'll give you guys a QR code. I have strategy calls with people just about every day. And that's one of the main things that comes up is, I think this deal, but I don't know how I'm going to buy it. I don't know where my money's going to come from, right? So that's what private capital gives you, that opportunity for that. All right. So we're going to go through some of the steps to finding these private capital lenders. All right. I have a couple of handouts. Y'all have some on your table already, but I got a few more for you. Number one, Okay. Who who could be a capital lender? I'm going to pass. Actually, we just pass these around and just pass it through the next table. All right. Who could be a lender? The answer is already out there. Y'all can just tell me. Everyone. How could everyone be a lender? It's not true, is it? Can everyone be a lender? Huh? Yeah. Could you borrow money from your kids? Yeah. Why not? Everyone can be a lender. So I want to hear y'all say that out loud. Everyone can be a lender. Everyone can be a lender. Guys, I don't know how it's really hard to kind of get that through our heads sometimes. Because again, we're in our little secret group here, y'all. This is our secret community. We're investors. We do things that other people don't. But everyone can be a lender. A lot of them don't know it. They don't even know what it is. They don't know that they have access to the real estate market without being a flipper. They don't know that they can participate in really great returns without doing the work themselves. Whose job is it to educate them on that? Yes, yours. It's okay. Y'all can get loud. It's fine. Yours, ours. And if you don't let them know, you're being kind of rude, right? Don't be so selfish. Let them know. They want to know. They don't know that they don't know. All right. So I got right now you're getting passed out just a quick little sheet to help you put down 20 names and just some notes about them. All right. Now, the cool thing about private lending and private lenders is that the people you write down, you're probably not going to think about the person that's going to give you your first loan. It's the weirdest thing, and just trust me on this. It's not about picking that person and saying, you look like a good lender. I don't know how many times it's happened that it's the person you least expect that will end up lending to you. But you got to get started. So that's why I gave you a little sheet of paper. You got to get started somewhere. So asking people to just open the door. And why do I say start with the first 20 people that you know? Because it's easy. If you practice on people that love you and care for you and won't laugh in your face, it then becomes easier to talk to other people that might be a little further away. Okay? So going to real estate meetups like this, going to other meetups that you might find on meetup.com, you can, once you've talked to 20 people that like you and won't laugh at you and you can hone your message in, then you could talk to other people at meetups. You can come into a room like this and be very comfortable saying, why you're looking for money and what you need funds for. Okay? After you've talked to 20 people, put it on social media. Doesn't sound that hard, does it? Talk to 20 people and trust me, after you've said it 20 times, you'll be like, oh Lord, I don't want to do this again. I'm just going to put it on Facebook and the people that want to hear it will call me. You can actually skip to that part if you want. But if you're nervous, shy about it, do the 20. All right, do the exercise of talking to 20 and then you'll thank me. I want you all to send me a message. Shoot, just put it on Facebook and said, you know what, Andrew, you're right. Talking to 20 people is exhausting. I just posted it on Facebook instead because I know you're going to do it because it is exhausting. But you're not selling. And I want to be sure about this. We're not going around asking for money. We're not selling them the opportunities. We're just sharing what we do. And the people that are interested will speak up. Okay. Who heard our podcast today? Anybody? Man, this podcast is blowing up. I'm just kidding. So go back. I did a podcast with a private lender. It's okay, y'all. It's a podcast. It is good. I enjoy doing it. But it's okay if you don't listen to podcasts. But it's on YouTube and it's in wherever you listen to podcasts. I did it with Rich Lennon. who's been doing private money for decades, and he gave this the best nugget, and I had to write it down here. He said, I help people, I help move other people's money. So when do you say that? When someone asked in the story he gave, he was at a birthday party with his kids, and a dad walked up. He's like, "What do you do?" It's like, "Well, kind of flip houses and stuff, but mainly I just help move other people's money." And the guy was like, "What? What does that mean?" And that was his introduction to private lending. He helped tell this guy what that means. How many of y'all talk to random dads and moms at birthday parties or soccer games or church or work? Yeah? Everybody else just stays quiet in the corner? Hey, Ted, I know you stay quiet in the corner. So does anybody have opportunity to just say those 3 lines to people? I would say most of us do. And it's not in what do we do in this room? We look for deals and money every day. And so having just those words in the back of your brain is going to help you introduce what you do to people that will help you find private lenders. Okay. Another line is, I help friends and family earn great returns by investing in real estate without having to do the work. See how that tells them kind of what it is. And when you say friends and family, it's like, oh, it's special. It's just my people. It's real estate. It's different. Okay. So having that sentence, those couple of lines in your head, so whenever you talk to people, it's going to help you find them. And the deal is, you're not trying to sell them. You're not saying, oh, I give 10% returns. I take your money and I flip houses and I give it back to you in 6 months. Like, you're not doing that. And if you do that, you're going to scare people away. You're just introducing what it is we do. And if they're interested, they'll ask questions. Okay. What kind of questions do you think they'll ask? Yes, Sean saw it. Did y'all look at the thing on your table? So I put a couple questions there. Well, just if you guys didn't get that, put a note in the Facebook group, and what I'll do is I'll just shoot links in the Facebook group if that's okay with y'all. I think that'll be easy enough. But I did put on the table. What's the title of it? 5 questions. 5 questions every private lender asks. Okay. And those are questions that you're going to want to know the answer to. I do have a little cheat code. Private Money Club. Has anybody heard of them? So the owners of this are in a mastermind that Michelle and I are part of, and they've actually gone through a complete overhaul where just because of the way money and lending and all that stuff works, they had to change the business model. And now I'm pretty sure you don't have to pay anything to get on and sign in and be a part of it. I think you have to pay like a premium if you want special access, but I'm pretty sure last time we talked to him, this was September, last time Michelle and I were in the mastermind, he said it's free to sign up. And you can go in there and see what's happening. And if you do have a deal, you can actually post it in there. And so you can meet private lenders through this site. And they have a ton in there. So give it a shot. Tell them we sent you. privatemoneyclub.com, maybe? Yeah, Chris is the guy that is in the mastermind with us. And this is one of their sales rep guys. He was there in March. But Chris was there in October. And so we sat with Chris, who's the owner, and I was like, what happened? Because used to, you had to pay to get in there, but they had to change it up. So now it's better for new borrowers. All right. So if you have a conversation at a birthday party and you're talking to a dad, a mom, or whomever about private lending, they're going to have a lot of questions, and you are too. If you don't have questions, then you're not ready to borrow money anyway, right? Because you want to know that they are going to be a good fit for you. So take this from our experience. Back in the beginning, when Michelle and I first borrowed private capital, we didn't know what questions to ask. We didn't know what we were doing. We just kind of went into it. And that causes issues as you go down the road. So just trust me and try not to, fall into those same traps. Okay. So when they ask, what do you mean you move people's money? I've got some money. Can you move my money? You don't want to move just everybody's money. You don't want to use anybody's money just because they have money in their checking account. If this is money that they need to pay rent or to pay the car payment or kids' school, do you think you should borrow that money to do a flip? I hope everybody here says no. That is not a good idea. It needs to be funds that they don't need tomorrow. Guys, when we do a flip, we do maybe a 6-month note and we fully intend to flip it and sell it in 6 months. But guess what? Stuff happens, as Forrest Gump would say. Right? How long did that flip end up taking, Sean? Was it 8 months? If somebody is expecting that loan back at 6 and you have to go 8 because of delays and inspections and bad timing and it snows or whatever, you don't want that person hurt, right? So that's somebody that you probably don't want to borrow from. And if you're a needy borrower and you're not thinking into the future, you might take those funds and have a big problem 6 months later. Okay? I know that some of this is scary, but it's on purpose. When you're dealing with other people's money, you need to be afraid. You need to you need to be set up to not make mistakes there. Okay? Now, if they do have investment capital or they have savings and they just got it sitting in an account like we talked about earlier where it's not making any money. The savings accounts right now is like 0.01%. Now you can put it into like T-bills and all kinds of stuff. But if they're not making at least 4 or 5% on it, they need to move it. They need to do something with it. Okay. So those are some of the questions we asked. Like a really great question that I've heard and have seen used. I think it was a guy on the podcast that said it was, hey, I'm looking to invest some capital. What's the best return you're getting on some of your capital? If you ask an investor that, they'll come out and tell you, oh, I got this great savings account. It's giving me 3%. I'm so excited about it. And then you're like, oh, 3%, man, I'm getting 8% by doing this, private money loan. I think I'll stick with that. You think an investor is going to be like, what? You think he'll just let you walk away with that comment? No, he's going to say, what? Tell me more about that. What does that mean? All right. In retirement accounts, I just talked to, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody the other day about retirement accounts and the fees, and this is just from like our accounts and stuff like that. If you just put it in the account that the employer says to use, or like the state run retirement accounts, has anybody calculated how much fees you get taken out? How much? It's a lot. It's a lot of fees. Tony Robbins' book, Mastering the Game. He breaks it out in there, and it is scary how much the mutual funds and those IRAs, 401ks, they tell you, yeah, you made 10% on your retirement this year, but that's before the fees. And if you calculate after the fees, you end up at like 4%. It's crazy. And so if net investment accounts like that, retirement accounts aren't earning enough, these are people you want to talk to. Okay. Let them know that you have options. Okay. And of course, always, if they don't fit, then do you know anyone who does? Or if they do fit, you know anyone else who might be interested? Now, you will find something interesting about private money lenders is sometimes they don't want to share. Sometimes they won't tell their friends about you. Why do you think that is? They want it for themselves. They're a little selfish too. It's all right. It's okay. I understand. But yeah, so you got to ask. You got to ask if they know anybody else. All right. So how do you present the deals? How do you present your program? All right. So we've already talked about where to find them. what to say, and then how to qualify, how to get people. Really, you want to disqualify, right? Those questions we had, you're really just trying to not include those folks that don't fit, okay? To keep yourself out of trouble. All right, so when you present the deals, it's really simple. We really just want to present the opportunity. And one thing for you all, and this might be a mindset shift for you, is when you're talking to private lenders, you're the hot commodity. You are the belle of the ball. Having an investment that is secured by real estate and that can give a lender 10, 12, 15% returns, do you think that's exciting for a lender? Yeah. What are the options for those lenders? The stuff we just talked about. Crappy savings accounts. 401ks that get eaten up by fees, or high risk crypto, right? Having real estate that's secured by an investment, by a property, and being able to still make 8, 9, 10, 12%, whatever you want, whatever you're paying, that's exciting for lenders. And so for borrowers, for y'all, most of y'all in this room, the flippers, the landlords, sometimes we kind of go to the borrowers like sheepishly, like, oh, do you think maybe you'd like to lend some money? That's not going to work. They want you to come. Like you have the hot ticket, because guess what they can't find? The good lenders, they can't find enough good borrowers. Okay? And now you might not find that person the first time, but you'll find them when you start having these conversations. All right, so we do an intro video. I think it's on our website. If not, I do have the script for that. Oh, and I have the template. Now, y'all can get this afterwards, but so this is the just a little pamphlet that we put together. It was supposed to print a 2-sided, but whatever. I wasted a ton of paper today. So it just goes through and it asks and answers some questions that lenders might have. Some of the ones that might be on your table, like what is private lending, rates, terms, guarantee, documents, paperwork. It goes through and answers all those questions. So we put this together that we can hand to our private lenders. Really, I did a lot of paper today on purpose. Why do y'all think I put a lot of paper out today? Huh? It's tangible. Lenders. You think lenders like paper? Yeah, ask the lenders over there. They kill a lot of trees. Let me tell you. We got wallet and consistent capital, a lot of trees in that packet. But private lenders, it's tangible, it's real. You are real. You're a business, okay? And normally, actually, when we have these actually printed, they're on glossy, nice paper and professionally done. And the video is nice and professionally done, okay? You have a link to like a YouTube page that tells them about it, okay? And basically the video, this is the script for the video, by the way, is I just go through all of these questions on the video and just answer them and talk to the camera, okay? And so that's how we present the opportunities. And then when we actually have a deal, we actually have something that's ready to be funded, we will send it through whatever the private lender wants. Okay, so that's part of your conversations with them is, do you like email? Do you like text? Do you like phone calls? Do you like it in the mail? Do you want me to come over to your house and sit down with you and talk about it? All right, those are conversations you have to have with your lenders in the beginning for sure. Now, our private lenders, the list we have is 40 or 50 people, and we just send an email. And we've told them that that's what we're going to do. And if they don't work that way, then they just won't get the deals. Okay, so again, we've kind of flipped to where we're in the driver's seat there, and we're not sending text messages or calling and asking anymore. We just send out an email. Okay, but as you build that up, in the beginning, you want to cater to your lenders, treat them the way they want to be treated. Talk to them the way they want to be talked to. Okay. And of course, be ready to answer any questions. This is so huge. Do your homework. The do's and don'ts. That's the thing I emailed the other day. Do's and don'ts. Do your homework so that if the lender asks a question, you will be able to answer it. A lot of the hard money lenders, they'll have an underwriter that'll go through and look at your deal, and they might send questions back. Has anybody had that where lenders started asking questions? Yeah. They want to know if you did your homework. They want to know if you're going to extend this bathroom, or if this house needs a new subfloor because it looks bubbly, right? They're doing their homework. They're asking questions. When you go to a private lender, they don't want to hear, I don't know. You think that's scary to a private lender? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, how do you protect them? This is so, so important. You're going to treat your investors' capital like it's your grandma's last dime. Because it could be one day. Your grandma could be your lender one day. If you do it right and you do it well, how cool would that be to be the person that's taking your grandma's retirement funds and extending them an extra 10 years because you're getting her such good returns? Or your mom's. That'd be kind of cool to be able to provide for your family, your friends, and give them these outsized returns that will extend their dollar bills through just your job, what you do every day. Isn't that cool? If you treat it like that, you will be in a long-term strategy. Okay. Thinking long-term is going to allow you to make this business successful. Okay. Don't go at it short, quick dollar. So that's the way, my mom way back then really, she really messed us up in the beginning. But now we're able to use through helping her funds grow through a partnership I have with her and my brother and myself, or us. We have some of her funds that are working on flips, and we're able to get her retirement funds to extend longer. My dad still hasn't retired, so he just wants to keep working forever. So he's fine. But, being able to help my brother and his wife and their kids and my parents and all of our neighbors, friends, coworkers extend their funds securely through our investments is pretty cool, right? And it's an exciting thing for our businesses to be able to do that, and everybody in our business is able to participate in that. So if you want to be that person, then you want to make sure everyone that works with you is protected. And everyone that we do, I know I talked about friends and family a lot, but that doesn't mean you do business any different than if it was a stranger, or if it was Bank of America or Rehab Wallet or whatever. You got to have note, mortgage, and secure the property, and it should be a deal. I hope that goes without saying. You should have a deal and shouldn't be borrowing more than it's worth, right? So that person's money is secure. Okay, and of course, I'm not an attorney. I don't play one on TV, but I do know a note and a mortgage will work. Okay, and have your attorney draw those up. Okay, and you can reuse them over and over again, and just give it to the attorney to file it. You just change the terms, the address, and all that good stuff. You don't have to go to the attorney and sit with the attorney every time, but you've got to use those forms. Okay, secure the note, secure the loans, secure the property. Does that make sense? Okay. And the biggest thing, and this is where I'll say this from just some experience, like that mastermind that we went to. The thing that gets flippers and real estate investors in trouble with private money is this thing of what we talked about earlier. It's easier, it's less paperwork, and smoother and faster. Is they take advantage of that, and they don't do that underwriting that we talked about, and they don't follow the procedures of protection here. And so they might do 2 loans on one house because they ran out of cash. Then they get over leveraged on one house. Or the money's so easy that they forgot to go and inspect the house that they're buying and found out that the house is in a floodplain and has to get torn down. So now they have a property that they secured the note that's there, but the property's worth nothing because they went and skipped their due diligence. Okay. Now, I know this isn't as much fun as it when I talk about the bad stuff, but the reason I'm telling you all this is because we've seen people get in trouble with that. These people across the country, and it's a lot has to do with when you're getting private funds, because this business is amazing and we give awesome returns. But if you're not a good steward of that, you will get yourself and other people in trouble. Okay, so that's probably the scariest part. Did I ruin everybody's day with that? No. All right, just protect it and be wise with it. Treat it like it's your grandmama's dime, and you'll be safe. All right. So then you're going to keep repeating. Do great work. Sean and Bree, I love their Facebook and Instagram now. It might just be Facebook, but watching their flips go, it's incredible. Like going from hoarder house with no floors to now it's got floors, and Malcolm is sold. Like making sure that you do great work, show your great work, and you will see how fast the snowball private capital will build. Okay. Don't do shoddy work. We got some really good contractors in here right now. If you do shoddy work and your lenders see shoddy work, you think they're going to lend again? Nope. You think they're going to be really nervous about their money and bother you all the time? Yep. But if you do great work, show them great work, and you can, be proud of what you put out there, your lenders will continue to work with you. And then you will build and build and build to the next one and the next one. One thing that I'm thankful for our acquisitions team over there, they implemented was always to say thank you. I'll admit that sometimes I get into the business and I keep going, and I'm not the guy that's going to turn around and say thank you and appreciate you and thanks, honey, I love you. And what is that? Words of affirmation? I'm not big on it, but I do love everybody here. You're all amazing. But with your private lenders, and just like everyone else in your business, y'all stop for a second and say thank you. And it means a lot, especially when you're doing business with people, referrals and repeat business like lenders. It's very important to say thank you. All right. A lot of times, we're doing loans of people with $65,000, $105,000, $250,000 loans on these houses that we're doing, right? And even higher than that. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Nice little thank you email is not too hard to ask, is it, Marissa? Yes. Thank you very much for making sure. And then, of course, you want to share your success. Share success with this community. You have no idea how many lenders are in this community. If you share your success within this community, people will see it, people will take note, and people will reach out to you. Okay? So there's a lot of private lender, private capital information. I've got a couple of handouts here for you all that I give it to you at the end. I've got some talking points that you can work on with your private lenders. But I know some of y'all are probably sitting here like glazed over, like, what in the world do I do next? Anybody thinking that right now? Like, what's next, right? I don't know where to start with these people. The very first thing for you all is that list. If you are stuck and you're like, this is great, the information was good, but I don't know what to do next, that's what that handout is for. To get your ball moving, get going down that road, all right? Most people are getting stuck because they don't have direction. They don't know which way they're going, or they don't have a goal, an ultimate end goal, right? Either you need a goal of where you're headed, or you need a direction. Like, I'm going left. All right. This is what stops most people, or they have what I like to call a healthy fear of risks. And that's okay. Having a healthy fear of risk is a good thing. The only issue is if it stops you from taking action, it's a bad thing. Does that make sense? This is where you come into analysis paralysis, is what they like to call this. It's like, oh, I'm so afraid. I need to know A, B, C, D, E, F, G before I take a step. No, you just need to know A, and you're going to take a step to A, and then we'll figure out B and take a step to B. All right. So these are the two things that really stop people in this business. And I understand it. I mean, we've all been through that. And there's probably most of y'all in this room are either in that spot or have been in that spot. Right. Same with us. There's an awesome dude that gives this great analogy of your GPS. Who in here hops in the car, turns GPS on, even if they're going home from here, right? Am I the only one? Okay, good. Yeah. Right now I'm like, well, what's the fastest way? Have y'all noticed that stupid GPS it won't calculate until you actually start moving? What is up with that? Like, I'm sitting in the parking lot, just tell me which way to go. You got to start moving. GPS does not start until you start moving. It don't kick in. I don't know why. I still go in the same direction. The GPS doesn't tell you where you're headed until you start moving. And that's why you need a direction. Okay? So take the steps. Start moving down the road. It's okay to have a healthy fear. And that's what we're here to help you do. All right? So if you do want to book a one-on-one strategy call, we have a QR code over there by Kimberly, and I'll put one up here in a second. If you need more education, if you need to know more about this private money stuff, I do have a course online in the Learning Center. And of course, we'll put this recording up there as well. We'll have to send it to Andy. Andy requested it. So shout out to Andy who needs the recording. But if you are ready to do a flip in the next 30 days, let us know. We might have a spot open. I'm not sure if we have a spot open right now. But you have a step. Everyone in here, your step is different. Let me know if you are uncertain of where that is. We have a quick 15-minute chat, and I can help you maybe point you in the right direction or show you some resources that will. If you're totally stuck, that 20, start with a list of 20. All right. The big question is, where will you be 1 year from now? If you stay stuck and you don't move, where are you going to be 1 year from now? Same place, same spot, loving life at the same exact spot. Or maybe not loving life. You might be annoyed at that point. So you may have flipped your own house or not. You might be still thinking about doing it. All right. So that's what we don't want. We don't want to see that. So let me know how we can help you.
Thanks for listening to the REI Deal Finders podcast. You can find out more and apply to be a part of the REI Deal Finder community at reidealfinders.club.